Hey guys, we are in the basement. Today we're going to do part number 11 of the Journey restoration. I know, can you believe it? We're on part number 11. Holy cow. And we're not even done. But you know what? In this video, we are going to get a lot done. And I mean a lot. And you know what? I need to redeem myself because at the end of the last video, I was defeated, guys. But you know what? Not in this video. In this video, we're going to get that cassette player working. I promise you. We're going to get the cassette interface board all wired up. We're going to mount the cassette player. We're going to actually make and record the 3-minute endless loop tape that has Journey's hit song, Worlds Apart, Separate Ways. And then we're going to print and apply the label, the artwork label that goes on the cassette, thanks to my buddy Etienne in the Netherlands, who actually recreated the artwork. So anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's get to the garage and let's get working on that Journey. Woo! All right, guys, here's where the Journey is today. Now, in the last video, I did not like how that video ended, guys. I felt pretty much defeated. And if you guys watched it, in the last video, we started hooking up the audio interface board, the cassette interface, the audio amp. It's an all-in-one board. We started hooking that thing up, and I pretty much hooked up only the power and the audio in and the audio out. And this is the game audio, not the cassette audio. And when I plugged it in and turned the game on, I was getting horrible buzz. There was no game audio, just horrible buzz. And the video ended last week with me just kind of like saying, well, I don't know what to do. And you know what? I didn't really like that. I went to bed just feeling like, oh my God, I know I can figure this out. And you know what? I went on the internet. I went to bed. This is a true story. So I did that last video last night. I came home from work today totally pumped. I wanted to just get back to this game today. But anyway, I went to bed last night after I filmed the video, and I'm laying in bed with my iPad, and I'm Googling the heck out of this. And you know what? I have fixed so much stuff this way by just Googling. I mean, you'd be amazed what you can find, and little clues, because you'll find guys talking about the same problems that you're having. And you know what, guys? Don't give up on that. Just find different ways to Google the same topic. Get creative with your searches. I have fixed so much stuff by just Googling the heck out of it and being relentless about how I Google. I mean, I do not just give up. I don't just try one search term and accept it. So anyway, I'm in bed and I'm just Googling like crazy, reading up all this stuff. And I came across this website, okay? And the website was Super Techno Boy, who's a guy in Club, and he's got a website called Atomic. Let me show you guys. He's got a website here called Atomic Buffalo Arcade, okay? And I came across this, and it says Midway MCR Amp Buzz. And by the way, I was not searching for the word buzz, okay? So that's a word I was looking for hum, but he called it buzz. And it says here, lots of Midway MCR series games use some version of the dual power amp. The environmental Disctron actually has 2, blah, blah, blah. When I got the power supply working on my environmental Disctrons, I fired up and it was greeted with a very loud buzz. And that's exactly what was happening to me, okay? I'm calling it a hum, he's calling it a buzz, whatever. And then he thought it was a bad ballast somewhere, which, by the way, I've heard people say that the fluorescent light fixture, the ballast, can actually cause this hum. And that was something that I did test yesterday. I unplugged the light fixture and it didn't fix the problem. So it wasn't my light fixture, but that is something you guys do want to look out for. It could be the light fixture that's interfering with the audio, causing all of that, okay? So he tried the ballast, it wasn't that. And then he found out that the tantalum caps at C3 and C4 were the cause. And he also replaced the audio amps, which I did too. I replaced the audio amps on the cassette interface board, which is right here. These are the audio amps here. So I did replace those. I did test almost every single cap using my digital multimeter, but he says here, when he replaced C3 and C4, which are the tantalum caps on this guy, it fixed his issues. Now, this board is for the Journey. This half up here is for the cassette interface, and then the bottom half here is the audio amp, and it's basically a mirror image of this. okay? And not a mirror, it's an exact copy of it, okay? So the bottom half of this board is the same as a standard audio amp. So what he was describing would apply to this board, because C3 and C4 are actually over here at C203 and C103. So what I did was I pulled C3 and C4 off of this board because I knew this board worked, and I stuck them on here, and sure enough, I plugged it in and the hum was gone, guys. So that's what it was. It was these little caps right here, and these were the bad ones. So I don't know which one it was. These are tantalum caps. You know, you can buy these on eBay for like 50 cents. I mean, this is a very inexpensive part, but it's just knowing which one to get, and I think it's a 22 microfarad, 15 volts. Now, I will tell you this, I did test both of these using my multimeter, okay? Because if you look here, so my Fluke has a capacitor test built in, and you go to the diode function here, then you press this yellow button, and then it's in capacitor test. This thing was not telling me anything, really, because if I were to test these, it actually they actually measure correct. They measure, now this is not an ESR meter, which kind of tells you the life of the cap or how it would perform under load. This just kind of tells you if it's reading right, okay? And so if I were to test this, if I were to test these out of circuit, see, I'm getting 22.5 microfarad. So that's that one. And if I were to test this one, and this one's getting 22. So they're in spec. They're testing correct with my multimeter. So I also learned something yesterday too. I cannot use this capacitor test, really. It's not trustworthy. It's not an ESR meter. The ESR meter is, I think, more of a gauge of what's going on with the cap. And whereas this is just measuring capacitance. And yeah, sure, this thing might measure at that, but maybe it's not performing at that. And I thought at least it would show a short, because I'm suspecting one of these is shorted. But anyway, moral of the story, these little caps were bad, and this is the problem I had. So why don't we go back in the game now? Now we can screw this back on the wall and hook it up, and let's finish wiring up this journey. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and screw the audio interface dual power amp back to the wall here, because I do want to have it mounted while we're working, because that'll help me when I'm guiding the wires over when we're making our little harnesses and stuff. It'll kind of tell me exactly how long stuff needs to be. And I want to apologize for the audio quality in this, because I'm not using my lavalier mic because it broke. So unfortunately, my camera has a stereo microphone built in. And the quality's okay, but what sucks about it is the stereo. So right now I'm to the left of the camera, and I'm sure my audio is coming out of the left speaker only. So sorry about that, guys. I'll have that. I ordered a new one on Amazon. It should be here like in a day. So the next video, or maybe in the middle of this video, I'm not sure if this video is going to take me more than a day to do, but we'll see. All right, so I just got 2 screws in here for now. And let's go ahead and make our connections again, and I'll show you guys the thing working. Boy, I was so proud of myself last night when I got this thing working with no hum. Honestly, I was jumping for frickin' joy. Now, we're not out of the woods yet, though, because we have no idea if the cassette part of this thing works. Yeah, we got the audio amp working, but I don't know if the actual cassette controls, you know, because this thing's going to send power to our cassette player, and I have no idea if that's going to work. So let's go ahead and plug it in. All right. And so the game's on, so we don't hear that crazy hum. So let's go up front here. And the monitor's warming up here. So let's go ahead and coin it up while it's warming up. So you can see. So it's working. So we've got the audio amp part of the audio interface working. So that's good. So we're done with that. So now let's go back here. And now let's start wiring up the rest of this. Okay, so looking at here on the 12 position, I've made all these connections. I've made the power, which is pin 2, pin 5. We made the audio connections, which is 7, 3, and 4, the red, black, and the stranded. We put the key in. So the next 2 that we need to make are right here, which is the tape recorder audio jack, and it's at pin 11 and pin 12. So pin 11 gets clear, and pin 12 gets shield. And you can see here, it goes to the jack, that's then going to plug into our cassette player. So I went on Amazon and I bought some cheapo Basics 3-foot 2.5 millimeter mono cable. I bought mono because I don't think it's a stereo. It's only 2 wires. It's a ground and a basically a ground and a signal, I think, right? So I bought a mono cable thinking that that's the way to go, and I believe that to be true. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut one end of this off and hopefully expose what they're describing as the clear and the shield, and hopefully it'll all make sense. So we got to cut one of these ends off, and I'm just going to kind of go for it here. All right, and then, so if we look in here, we've got actually 2 wires. Red and black. So I'm guessing black is our ground, right? It's got to be. And I'm guessing that shield is our ground. So there's just 2 wires in here. Well, I don't know what the worst. If I get this backwards, I don't think it's the end of the day and the end of the world. So we'll use black as shield, and then clear as positive. And there's just 2 wires inside this cable, a red and a black. So I don't know, this might be some cheap China setup or something here, but oh, I'm sure, I hope we can make it work. So let me just strip enough of this shielding away so we can get to the wires. Okay. See if I can get more of this off. And I'm just coming in here with my side cutters trying to cut this rubber off of here. Okay. Okay, I think that should be enough to make our crimp connections. So one end we have our 1/8 inch mono plug, and then the other end we have positive and negative, and I'm going to say that black is going to be our shield and red is going to be our clear, because I think originally there was probably literally a braided shield in here, and then the red, this wire was inside of a clear tubing to kind of insulate it, and I think that's why they're calling it clear. So I'm going to go ahead and strip these. And then we'll put these into some Molex crimps. And yes, there's more crimping in this video, guys. I know. Unfortunately, it's necessary. There's no way around it. What we're doing here, we have to crimp. Is it not fun? I'm sorry. I don't like how this wire's chewed up. I think I'm going to strip this back a little bit. It looks like when I was stripping this back, I kind of dug into the wires. Let me see if we can go back a little further. There we go. Okay. And let's trim it right about here. And then we'll strip these back and put our Molex pins on here. Okay. So I only want about 1/8 of an inch exposed. This one here is pretty good. Okay, so we got those 2 wires and they're ready for crimping, so let me get some pins. And yes, Buffett, thank you for letting me use your wonderful tool. I owe you, man. This thing has saved my ass on this restore. Okay. Okay, we've got the red. Now let's get the black on here. double check my work. I think my crimps look pretty good. Okay, so we're now ready to insert these into our connector. And let me pull the diagram out here again. And shield goes to 12 and clear goes to... Alright, so shield, which we're going to use as ground, goes to 12. And the key was at 8, the key's at 4, okay? 1, 2, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. The key is at 8. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 is right at the end here. So 12 is shield, okay? So let's go ahead and stick this in number 12. Alright, so like so. Okay, and then clear goes in 11, which is the one right next to it. Okay, so we've got our wire now ready to plug into the tape player. Okay, so we are now done with the 12 position connector at J1. So now we need to do J3. So let's go ahead and stick that right on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Yep, pin 8 is the key. Okay. And this will reach over here, no problem. Okay, so pin 8's our key. Alright, so now I'm looking at this one here, which is an A position at J3, and we need to basically hook up our pot. This, though, is going to be tricky. So we need a wire that goes to the 23 position on the board at pin 10 and pin 18 that then come to this. So why don't we do that first? Because this is going to be a little tricky. Not really, but... Okay, so on the 23 position, which is this guy right here, okay, we need to run 2 wires to this, okay, at pin 18 and pin 10. And the key on this one, it doesn't say. Which one? Which one is key? Okay, so actually here, white, yellow go to 21. Alright, so this is it. And then white and brown go to 20. Okay, so the high numbers are over here. This is 23 on this end. I'm looking at the wiring diagram. It says that white and yellow goes to 21, so that means that's 21. And then white and brown goes to 20. And if you look here, you can see white and brown. Okay? And this is an insulation displacement connector, and these don't have a very good reputation. Now, the Molex connectors that we're doing now, like for that one up on that 12 pin that we did on the dual interface, that's using Molex pins. So we're crimping pins and putting them in there. This type of connector, you basically just jam the wire in here till it hits these little metal teeth. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then those little teeth will basically strip the sheathing, the vinyl or rubber that's on the wire, and basically make contact with the wire that's inside of it by this little barb that kind of, you push the wire in it, and it kind of like it kind of ruptures the sheathing, and then only the wire touches the metal. And so we're gonna have to, I guess, jam some wire in here. Now they do make a tool that I don't have, so that you can properly push the wire into these little pins. I don't have that tool, so we're gonna have to use a small screwdriver and just hope that it works okay, because we're gonna have to basically jam the wire in there. And we're interested in pin 18 and pin 10. So this is 23. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. So we're going to have to make sure we really kind of count here. So let me get some wire ready for this, and I'll be right back. Okay, I went and got some wire. This is like 22 gauge wire, and I didn't have pink and green, I had orange and green. So we're gonna use green for green and orange for pink. So I think we can keep track of that. And let's review again. So green goes to 18. Green goes to 18. So let's do that one first. And so we know that this over here is 23. And I got this screwdriver. Hopefully this isn't too big. We'll find out soon enough. So I need to go to 18. So 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, which is right here. Okay. And we're going to just kind of put our wire in here like so. And I sure hope this works. And we're just going to kind of attempt to push it into the insulation displacement little guy in here. I mean, hell, if I can't get this in, I might just solder this on here. It's starting to go in. 23, 22, 21, 20, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. I just want to make sure I got it in the right spot before I go all the way with this here. So you can kind of see what we're doing here. And I'm just basically pushing this in, trying to get these little metal barbs to basically cut through the vinyl. I don't like how that feels though in my hand. It feels dangerous. I'm going to come in here like this. Oh boy, is it in there? I don't know. We're going to have to test this out to see if we've got conductivity, but so I kind of got it in there. Let's give it a little bit more. This feels risky. Okay. So it's in there. So let me get my multimeter. I just want to test continuity to see if we actually have a good connection. So I'm going to put my meter on continuity, beep, okay, and we're going to put the probe on one end of the wire and then the probe on the other end, but I'm going to touch the connector. Alright, so that's what it sounds like if we would have. So I'm going to put it on one end here, and then I'm going to come over here and basically try to touch this, and we do. Good. Okay, so that was a good crimp, whatever you want to call it. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jam the next wire in, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I went in here and I jammed in the orange wire on pin 10. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so then 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Okay, so I'm kind of just double checking my work. I don't want to do this wrong, okay? And I'm just looking at this again. I'm just being kind of extra anal. So on the 23 position, we have pink at number 10, which we're using orange, and then we have green at 18, okay? And then we are using green here. Now let me double check this orange one, because I haven't tested the continuity on this one to make sure that my crimp was actually good. So I'm going to come in here again with my multimeter on continuity, and I'm going to come down here and just hit this. Make sure. So it's this guy. Okay, good. So you see what I'm doing? I don't want to just touch up here because I'll be touching the wire. You know, that's not going to prove anything. I want to touch the pin down here. That's a little kind of window that shows a piece of the metal of the pin, and I want to touch there. And if I've got continuity there, that means that this is a good crimp, okay? If I touch up here, I'm not really proving much anything. And then let's go ahead and double check. And We already checked that one. Okay, so I've got those 2 wires there, and we can go ahead now and plug this back on the board. We're going to have to come back here and neaten this up later. I'm actually out of zip strips. Okay. Alright, so now we've got these 2 wires. That for now we'll just kind of loop in here. Okay. And these are going to go over to the 8 position, which is over here. Alright, so now we can start making our 8 position Molex. And so let's take a look at our 8 position and what exactly is going on over here. So we've got those 2 wires, green and pink, that's done. We have a key at 3. We got to wire up the pot, which is 3 wires that go to a 1K ohm pot. Now I've got this pot now. In the last video I didn't have it. It just came in the mail today from eBay. And then black and red is going to go to the tape recorder power jack. So why don't we get an 8 position Molex and start going to town on it? Okay, I went and grabbed a Molex connector. This one is not 8 though, it's bigger. We're going to cut it down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 12. So I'm going to cut the last 4 off here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's go ahead and get rid of the last 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Actually getting rid of the last 5. This is the 13. Okay, and then you could save that piece I just cut off. You could use it later for maybe you have one that has 2 or 3 or 4 that you need. All right, so now we've got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so looking at the diagram here, the key, okay, is at 3. The key is at 3. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put the key in here so we kind of keep ourselves straight. And again, this key and these pins I get from Bob Roberts. I got this little kit from him. It's actually great. So we're going to go ahead and put the key in 3. Actually, I want to use 3 on this side so that these little barbs are in the inside. Because you can see this thing has barbs on it, but this connector that we have right here doesn't require those. But some of them will have a little plastic thing here on one side, and that's why there's barbs on here. So you do want to pay attention to these barbs if your male receptacle has the plastic thing on the one side, because the barbs go towards the plastic. But anyway, I'm going to have it just so the barbs go towards the board. So we'll go ahead and put this in 3, okay? So now we've established that that is the 3rd pin, and it's going to go on there just like so, okay? Alright, so now let's go ahead and put our wires in here, and I'm wondering if I should trim these down. Are these too long? So these are the 2 wires that we just added. And I don't want to get tangled up here. So it's definitely going to come up here. I'm going to zip strip this. It's going to come along here, come along here. Yeah, I think I can cut it down right about there. I don't want it to be too long, so let's cut it like right here. Okay, and that should give us enough length. And I'm going to go ahead and crimp these pins on here real quick. I'll be right back. You guys don't have to sit through this again. Okay, I had these 2 wires all crimped here, and now we're ready to throw them in the connector. And let's look at this again. So green goes to 6, and pink goes to 7. So green is green. So green goes to 6, okay? So if that's 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So green goes to 6. 8, 7, 6. Alright, let's slide that in there till it clicks. Alright. Green goes to 6. And then pink goes to 7, and remember we're using orange for pink because I didn't have pink wire. And that goes to 7. Okay. All right, so we've got those 2 wires in there. All right, so let's move on. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get this pot on here. And there's 3 wires, black, white, white, violet, and orange and black. And what I'm going to do is I want to look at the pot that's on here now to kind of get a reference for how it's supposed to go. Okay, so yellow, violet goes to the middle. So this is the pot, the volume pot that is used for the game board sounds. Now we're going to add a pot that's going to be used for the tape player volume, okay, and has its own separate volume control. And so over here, yellow and violet goes to the center. Okay, yep. And then orange and black actually went to the left pot, and then black with white went to the right. Okay, so assuming this is the same, trying to make heads or tails of this. I think if I mix these 2 wires up, it'll be the opposite direction, meaning if you turn it left, it will make it louder. If you turn it right, it will make it quieter, which is the opposite of volume knobs. Typically, when you turn them to the right, it goes loud. So I think if we mix those 2 wires up, it'll be backwards. So yellow, violet definitely goes to the center. And boy, this one is the exact opposite. Does it really matter? I don't know. I'm going to wire it up the same way this one is, with orange and black on the left, black and white on the right, and then yellow, violet in the middle. So what I need to do now is I actually need to go solder 3 wires on that pot I got. So why don't we go to the bench here and solder that real quick. Okay, so here's the pot. I got this on eBay. It is a 1K ohm pot. You can see right there, 1K. And it was like $2. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put 3 wires on here. I don't have the exact colors that Bally Midway used, so we're just gonna have to keep track of this as we go. And there's little hoops here. I'm just gonna put the wires through, like so, and then we'll solder them down. Okay, so I'm just going to hit that with some solder. If it doesn't move all around. Kind of a tough piece of solder here. It's moving all around. So let's get this middle one. Okay. I think that should be good. The middle one's not very good. Stand still. Okay. Okay, so we've got our 3 wires on there. And, yeah, it looks okay. Take a look there. It's not my straightest work, but it's gonna do. That part was just moving all around. They're definitely on there, though. Okay, so let's go back to the back of the game here and hook this up. Okay, so here's the pot, and this pot is going to eventually be up here, okay? I have to figure out a way to mount it. So I want to make sure I have enough wire to reach here. And actually, it looks like this red wire is my shortest wire. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut everything to the length of the red wire. And it's just going to have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and strip these and put some Molex pins on here, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have added some Molex pins here to the other end of the pot, and now we need to feed those into our 8-position plug. And I'm going to use the original service switch as reference here as to what they're talking about, because it says orange and black goes in 5, yellow and violet goes in 4, and black and white goes in 8 on here. And I didn't have the same colored wires, so I'm going to look at this. So black and white is going to be my red and white, okay? So let's go ahead and feed that in. So black and white goes in pin number 8. And again, I'm using red and white for that. So let's go ahead here and grab our connector. Okay, so number 8. And let me look again. The key is on 3, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the last one is 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick that guy in. Just like so. Okay. So that's our black and white. Black and white goes in 8. Yellow and violet goes in 4. So let's look here. Yellow and violet is the middle wire. Okay, so let's look at our pot. And for the middle wire, I'm using orange and green. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab that. So orange and green is going to be yellow and violet. Okay, so yellow and violet goes in number 4. Okay. And so 4 is going to be from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. And then the last one is orange and black goes in 5. Okay, so on here, orange and black is the left one. And let's look at our pot. And I'm using red. Shit. Oh man, I'm looking at this wrong. Wait, hang on. White, I'm sorry. Okay, so white and red is the left. White and orange is the left one. Okay, so white and orange. Okay. So that is orange and black is 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm just going to quickly double check my work here. Orange and black goes in 5. Okay, so orange and black for me is the left one. Okay. And so my left one is red and white, and that goes in 5. Oh, wait, I gotta look at it like this. Yeah, hang on a second here. I'm getting all mixed up. Okay, I did it right. I was just double checking my work here. I was getting confused because if you have to, I'm trying to look at it the same way, but I was looking at it like this, and I was looking at it like that. So anyway, okay, so I did it right. Okay, so the wires are all where they need to be for the pot. And so the last thing we need to do here, actually, you know what? Do you guys want to take a quick break? You know what? It's actually the next day. Okay, so when I cut away to put the connectors on the pot, it's actually been a couple days since we started this video, and you guys might be able to tell because I have my microphone back, because I got a new microphone. So the audio quality, I hope, is better now. But I went to my buddy Jay's house last night, and I picked up a game, and I'm going to do a full video of it later, but before we do that next wire, check it out, guys. So I just picked this up. This is an R-type, and this is an original dedicated Nintendo R-type. And, you know, we'll do a real video of this, okay? This is, I'm just kind of showing you guys what's going on here, so you're not like, why is there a game in the garage all of a sudden? Well, it's because I stopped recording, and then I came back a couple days later. But, so yeah, last night I picked this up, and it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, you guys like these side-scroller shooters? I mean, for me, Gradius was my game. I didn't play a lot of R-Type, because they never really released R-Type on the NES. So I never really played a lot of R-Type, but it is a cool-ass game. And really, it's one of the granddaddies of shmups, shoot-em-ups. So, but this is an original dedicated. I actually traded my buddy Jay. I don't know if you guys remember, Jay and I are doing a big trade right now. I'm trading him my Star Wars, and I'm trading him my Multi-Williams for his R-Type, his Robotron, and his 720. And so far now, I've picked up the R-Type and the Robotron, which is in the basement. And I think this weekend we're gonna get the 720, hopefully, if things work out. But yeah, this game is awesome, man. I mean, it's all original. So this is what the original dedicated R-Type looked like. Now, the game was developed by Irem, whatever, in Japan. And then Nintendo distributed it in the US. And so it's got Nintendo branding, but it's not a Nintendo game. Nintendo did not create this game. So it came out, looks like in '87. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know what's gonna go on with it. I don't know if this game's gonna end up in the basement or stay out here. We'll see. But I'm gonna enjoy it though. It's a very hard game. But yeah, I just want to show you guys this. We will definitely be doing a real R-Type video probably this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll just kind of give you guys a sneak peek here. And it's in okay shape. It's, you know, it's a cheap, like, wafer board cabinet. It's particle and wafer board. It's the same cabinet that Nintendo used for the Versus dedicated single monitor cabinets, and it's also the same cabinet that Nintendo used for the PlayChoice 10 single monitors, and also the dedicated Versus single monitor cabinets. And it's kind of a variation on the Donkey Kong cabinet. You know, it's not quite the same. I think they tried taking the same like Donkey Kong profile and just kind of like modernizing it. You know, but we'll talk about all this in the R-Type video. But yeah, it's here. So all right, should we get back to work? We gotta get back to work. What do you think, though? Looks pretty cool. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so we've got one more connection to make, guys. And the last connection we need to make is this right here. And this is our tape recorder power jack, okay? And it's black and red going to 1 and 2. And so red's going to be at 6 volts and black's going to be at ground, okay? And that's going to plug into the cassette player in the AC adapter jack. And I went on Amazon and I got an AC adapter, like extender cable. And this end right here is going to plug into the cassette player and give it at 6 volts. And then this end was part of the extension. We don't need this, so we're going to cut this off. I do need to figure out which is positive and which is negative. I'm guessing that this white line right here is negative. It's got to be. And the other wire is positive. So let's go ahead and cut this off and strip these wires back. I think I should double check though to just make sure that what I think is positive is positive. I'm going to Google, we're going to test continuity from the wires to this plug, because I think that the outside here is ground or negative and the inside is positive. That's my hunch. I'm pretty certain of that, but I want to double check that. And then we can do a continuity test to see where this is going. If this is ground, that means if we touch our multimeter to here, and then also to the wire with the stripe on it, which I think is also negative, we should get continuity and get a beep, and that way we know we've got the right wires. But first I got to strip these guys back. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's go ahead and strip these wires. So yeah, R-Type's a pretty cool game. It's hard as heck. I played a lot of R-Type on my PSP of all places. And again, we'll talk a lot about R-Type in the next video, but it is, again, I love Gradius, and Gradius came out before R-Type, like a good year before it, and Gradius is I have it on the Nintendo Versus. It's such a great game, and then R-Type, I think they released it on the Sega Master System, the home version, and I didn't have that because I was an NES guy, I was a Nintendo guy, so it's interesting that the arcade version was a Nintendo cabinet, and for some reason, Nintendo didn't get the home rights to the game that they were selling in the arcades, at least in the US. So maybe in Japan, I suspect Nintendo had nothing to do with the arcade version of R-Type. They probably made their own cabinet. Maybe an interesting topic to research. Okay, so let's put our little Molex pins on here. Okay, get one more. All right, this should be the last wire that we crimp on this project, I think. Actually, there's one more. I need to crimp that wire that goes into the slam switch on the coin door amp connector. Okay, so what I want to do right now is I want to determine, I hope this reaches to the cassette player. It will. Because this is going to go from here to over here where we put the cassette player. So I want to make sure that ground is what I think is ground. So I'm going to put my meter on continuity. And if we have a connection, we're going to get a beep. Can you guys hear that? So let's put one on the barrel here. And let's put another meter on the wire with the stripe on it. Okay, so we have continuity. And we should not have continuity on this one. And we don't. So if I put this here, and then I don't know if I can get my meter inside. Yeah, I can. So I'm fairly certain that this barrel is ground or negative, and the inside is positive. And if that is the case, then this wire with the stripe is most definitely our negative. But I'm going to just double check and make sure that is the scheme that these things use. So let me go Google this really fast. I'll be right back. Okay, I went on the internet to Google this, and turns out the answer to this question is not as black and white as I thought. Sometimes the barrel is positive, sometimes it's negative, sometimes the inside is negative, and sometimes it's positive. It just depends on the device and the manufacturer. And then I looked at the tape player, and the answer I'm looking for is actually right here. So you could see the positive, I don't know if you guys can see this little drawing. It says DC 6 volts. The plus sign is pointing to the outside, the barrel, and then the negative side right there is pointing to the inside, the tip, okay? So it's actually the opposite of how it's labeled here. So the dotted line is actually going to be our positive, and the wire that is solid black is going to be our negative. And I double checked on the other cassette player, and this right here is actually the exact model that came in this game from the factory. Same deal. Positive, outer barrel, negative, inner. So the outer barrel is positive and the inner tip is negative. You can see that right there in that little diagram. So that was nice of them to put it on there. So that means that the outside is positive. Okay, so let's just double, triple check this again. So the outside is positive, okay, which means that this wire right here, the one with the stripe, is our positive. Okay, so that's positive right there. So let's go ahead and make our connection to Molex. And red positive 6 volts goes to pin number 1. Pin number 1. Okay, so where the heck did my connector go? Where's the Molex? Pin number 1. Where did my connector go? What's going on here? Come on, John. Where is it? Okay, I cannot find my freaking plug. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, so pin number 1, which is going to be this guy right here. Okay, so that's positive. You should probably put it in the right way. Okay, and then negative goes to pin number 2. Pin number 2. And that's the one right next to it. Okay, so this is it, guys. That's our last connection. We're done wiring this up. And now it is truly the moment of truth. Oh my God, if this doesn't... Please, please pray for me right now, okay? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make our connection here. Alright, everything is plugged in now, okay? Here's the volume pot. I believe that should be turned down, okay? So we'll just kind of have this hanging out right here for now. Okay, so now we need to make our connections on our tape player, okay? And I believe I'm going to go into the earphone and the power. Okay, so let's get the power connected, like so. Okay, we got power. Now we need to get our stereo mini, actually it's a mono plug is what I got. And where did that go? Let's see if we can find that. Oh, that's over here, okay. Okay, so here's our 1/8 inch mono. It doesn't freaking... Oh my God, did I order the wrong plug? You dumbass. I ordered the wrong plug. What? This is not the right size plug? Nope. What the heck did I get? 2.5 millimeter mono male. John, what did you do? Well, we need to plug this in here, but I have the wrong damn plug. Okay, well, let me think about what I need to do, because I've got a extension cable in my car. Let me go look around and see what I have. Alright, I'll be right back, because I've got these cables in my house. There's a bunch in the basement. I'll be right back. Stupid. Alright, I went inside and I found a stereo 1/8 inch plug. And I'm going to see if we can use this. I also verified that it is indeed mono that is coming out of that cassette player, because I plugged in some stereo headphones and I only got one channel. So hopefully we can strip this real quick and see what's going on with these 3 wires. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the 2 channels together, and I could use this cable then and not worry too much about it. Yep, so we've got... Yep, there's 3 wires in here, black, red, and white. So I'm guessing black is ground. And red is probably left or right, and white is probably the other one. I'm sure I can kind of Google that too and figure that out. So we're kind of improvising here. I'm sorry. Nothing is ever easy. Okay. Alright, so let me strip these wires. And I'm fairly certain black is ground, but I probably should Google this. Because on a stereo mini plug at 1/8 inch, is the tip ground or is the base ground? I don't remember. So let me go take a look. Okay, I just Googled this really quick, and it says that the tip should be the left channel, the ring is the right channel, and the sleeve is the ground. So that means that the base here should be ground. Let's double check that. I'm sorry guys that we gotta do this. I thought we were done. So let's touch the sleeve. Yep, okay, so the base of this is ground. And the tip is left, which is red. And the center is right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie left and right together, like so. Boy, this is some crappy, cheap wire on here. Are all headphones this crappy? Man, this is really thin stuff. Okay, so what I need to do now is splice this into here. Because we got the wrong plug. So I'm going to do that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, just for the time being, I'm just going to leave them like this and just make sure they're not shorting. It's just the audio. I'm not that worried about it. And I just want to make sure it works, and if it does, then we'll solder it and make it look pretty. Or I probably should just go on Amazon and get a new 1/8" plug and do this right, and not have this spliced up mess here. But for now, this will get us through. Okay, so let's come back to our tape player. So this is going to go into our earphone jack. I'm going to turn the volume down just to be safe. This also has a tone. Okay, and then we're going to make our DC 6 volts, like so, and we're going to press play. Okay, we are ready, guys. So let me put this down here. I'm just going to put the tape player outside the cabinet for now on the ground, and this is it. We are ready to plug this in. So we've got our power, we've got our audio connection. Remember, I had the volume turned down all the way, so I should probably turn it up just a little bit. I don't want to blow my speakers out. And then we also have the other volume on this pot that we did. So we have to keep that in mind. We have various volume controls. Now, if we put the game into test, we'll be able to manually turn on the tape player and test it. And so let me just kind of double check my work. Everything looks kosher. Yeah, it's a mess right now. I'm going to neaten this all up with wire ties. It actually all makes sense to me when I look at it. Let's get this out of here. And actually, let's put the game in test. Okay, and let's plug it in. All right, I'm excited here. Let me plug this in really fast. All right, I need to plug the AC adapter into the extension cord into the wall here. All right. Oh man. All right, the game just came on, so let's see if anything's happening with the tape player. Nothing yet. So the game should go right into test. It better. We might have to sit here and wait for it to cycle though, because I don't have the slam switch hooked up right now. All right, it's in test. Okay, let me turn the light off on this. Oh, all right, this is it, guys. Okay, so let's go to... where do I go? Self-diagnostics? Maybe not. Sounds? I know that... Oh, here, duh, the last one, cassette test. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. Cassette is now off. Joystick up to turn it on. Oh my god. It's on. It's on, it's on, it's on. Doesn't sound very good, but it's on. Okay, it sounds like crap. Here's our pot. Oh yeah. Alright guys, it frickin' works, man. I have a mixtape in there that I made for my wife when we were dating, but there's a weird hum. I don't like that. The hell is that sound? You guys hear that? Oh, is it the cassette? Listen to that. Let's try the other tape player. Maybe that one's better. I doubt it. I don't know. Okay. Let's come over here. So let's plug in the power and that. Let's see if it plays. It does. God. So it's working. It sounds like crap. So tape player's off. Push up to turn on. Down is off. And you see it's supposed to like kind of, there's like a bit of a fader it's supposed to have, so it kind of comes up gradually and then goes down gradually. So listen, if I press up to turn it on, it ramps up. But that... tape player's off. Okay, so the power is working. I'm wondering if it's the shitty plug I'm using. What to do, because I do have another plug option. I'm wondering if I should try another plug, because I do have a true mono plug that might be a better quality. I've got this guy here. Now this though is like 1/4 inch mono, like a good to an RCA, okay? But I have a 1/4 inch mono to 1/8 inch mono adapter. We could try this. I'm just curious, but if I disconnect the, I just want to try to do some deduction here. So right now the cassette player and the audio is disconnected, right? So there might be a bad part on there. So if it does it right now, I know it's not those wires because they're totally disconnected. So, oh, it's not doing it. So maybe it is that stereo mini plug. All right, I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna make a new speaker wire, and let's see what happens. Okay, I went ahead and wired on a new audio cable using this 1/4 inch. This is a much higher quality cable too, and so we've got the shield in pin 12, and I guess clear. That's what it says. So let's see if this works. Let's see if this makes any difference whatsoever with the quality. So I'm gonna go ahead. power connection and then my earphone connection. Oh, this better do it. Press play. All right, let's turn the game on. And let's go up front. I mean, I feel like we're really close, guys. I mean, the power's coming on, the tape player's starting, so like that all works. The audio's working, but it's just like really scratchy. So, all right, let's go down to cassette test. Cassette is now off. Press up to turn it on. Nope. Son of a gun. Not getting any audio right now. We're not getting anything. All right, this is interesting. The headphone is disconnected. So it's doing it just when this plays. Nothing is easy. Hang on, let me plug this back in. How come we're not getting any audio now? I'm not getting any audio. Weird. Okay, guys, we're back. I believe that I have a ground issue. I think it's something power and ground related. The ground plug on this, the ground tip rather, was cut off. Okay, this is what was on there. Okay, and you could see the ground prong was completely removed. Okay, so I decided to replace this just because I had the part and I figured why not? What could it possibly hurt? So I put a new ground plug on, and I've certainly covered this topic before, I believe on the Pac-Man Restore. So I put a new ground plug on, and then also before we cut away before, I went ahead and made another audio cable, and this one's fine. And it's definitely not the audio cable though. But let me show you what's going on now, because since I've replaced the ground plug, and is it better? I don't think it is. I thought it, you know what? I thought it was a second ago. Yeah, it still sounds like garbage. What do we do here? See, if you unplug the audio cable, it still does it. So it's not the audio cable at all. It's not the audio cable, because it's doing it right now. You can hear it, and only when you unplug this will it stop. And I've tried 2 tape players here. we do here, guys? Can I live with this? This is what I'm thinking. No, I can't live with this. This doesn't sound good at all. It sounds like crap. Yet another topic I'm gonna have to go research. Listen to that. Do you guys hear that? That's just horrible. I'm kind of at a loss. I'm not sure what to do at this very second. Because anything I do right now is absolute guessing. Because I just don't know what is causing that. It's pure guessing. Is it the pot? Is there a bad ground somewhere? Is there are the capacitors on this board bad that's causing the hum, you know? Is it that one? Is it, I don't know. I mean, should we cap the board? Should I order all the capacitors and replace all of those? I don't know. Anything I say right now is going to be a pure guess. And I don't know what to do right now about this. But the good news is my wiring all works, you know. It's working. It's turning on the way it's supposed to, so that means that splice that we did over here is good. My cassette player and my audio, that's all working. So it's all working. We just have this horrible low rumble sound that comes with the cassette player when it turns on. And I'm guessing it's got to be some kind of ground. I think it's absolutely power related. I definitely don't think that we have the power wires wired backwards because, because it wouldn't work, right? Or it would be turning backward. I mean, if you put a battery in backwards, it's not going to work. So I don't think we have that wrong. Because the speaker wires are back here, so they're kind of isolated from the power that's here. So I don't think that these speaker wires are picking up that rumble. I mean, do we want to kind of isolate these? I don't really think so. They're not touching it. They're not near it. Because the audio from the cassette is coming through here. It's coming through here. And then something's going on here, and it's going into the audio amp. So, I mean, it could be these caps. But here's the thing, though. The game audio plays perfect, so we know the audio amp is working, and we know it's not introducing a rumble or a sound, which is what we're getting right now. God, it really makes me think it's power related. It's got to be some kind of goofy ground somewhere. What could it be? You know, am I tempted to unplug the monitor? I mean, is the monitor causing interference? I don't know, guys. I think I'm going to research this. I'm wondering, do we move on right now? Do we go downstairs and make the cassette? Do we keep messing with this? What to do? All right, I need to sit on this. let me think about what's going on here. And then I'll be back. Let me come up with a game plan. And I'll be right back. Arg. Okay, guys, it's the next day here, and I kind of slept on this. I actually also contacted CD Jump over on Clove. Now, CD Jump, again, MCR Wizard. I bought my my PCB from him, and he told me if I were to send him this board, what he would do he'd basically shotgun all the electrolytic capacitors, which are these guys right here, and he'd also replace the voltage regulator, which I think is that guy right there. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to order the parts. He also told me to reflow all the solder joints. So I pulled the board out and I reflowed a lot of the solder. I also cleaned up this cable here. You can see I put some heat shrink tubing over here, and that was kind of the mono audio jack that we made, basically splicing together two different cables. And so right now, it actually seems to be better. So if we turn it on, oh, now it's doing it again. It's interesting because it seems like the longer it's on, like if I pull the board off, reflow the solder, I've done this twice now, and then plug the board back in, it's like fine for like a minute or two. And then it goes back to this hum. So I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to move on, and I'm going to order those parts. I'm going to order the caps and the voltage regulator, and we're going to shotgun that thing, but not in this video. We're going to do it later. But yeah, that is a super annoying here. Yeah, I can't have that. That's just not going to work long term. So weird, man. It's like everything's working, but we just got that stupid ass hum, man. There's something wrong with my audio cable. Hang on a second. Alright guys, I quickly redid the cable here. Apparently I didn't do it very good, but it's fine now. Before I was like moving it around and the audio was just kind of distorting or cutting in and out. So, alright, I think we're going to move on. I'm going to order those parts, and so I'm just going to order the parts, and we're going to cap that thing, and we'll cap it and replace that voltage regulator. So I think for now what I want to do, I want to clean this all up. Let's mount the tape player in there. I mean, the thing's working, right? I got power to it. It's all working. So let's just clean up everything and just mount the tape player in its new home. And let me get set up for that, because I want to do that next. So, okay. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to mount the tape player. It used to be right here, and there used to be a metal bracket that I don't have. So what I did is I went to the hardware store and I just got some angle iron, and we're just going to screw this to the wall like so. And we're just going to hang the tape player right here. I'm probably going to actually put it right here and here. And then I went and got some heavy-duty Velcro. And we're going to use that too. Where did I put the Velcro? Anyway, all right. Let's screw the angle iron in first. I'm going to use the original holes, at least one of them here, because I'm going to basically put the shelf here. And so let's come in here with my drill. I wish I had the original bracket, but I don't. So we're going to have to kind of improvise, and I don't think this will be so bad, actually. Yeah, I know. I'm bummed the tape player isn't working right. That damn hum. I'm going to rebuild it. I'm optimistic that if we replace those caps, it's going to fix it. Son of a bitch. The camera's in the way. I can't really get to it easily. There we go. That doesn't look so bad. And I'm just using the original holes here. There we go. Okay. Okay, I have the two brackets in here, and I think this is going to actually work out pretty well. And I bought some industrial strength extreme Velcro, and I'm hoping this kind of does the trick for us. Originally, there was like a big galvanized stamped bracket thing that was in here that kind of enclosed the whole thing, and I don't have that, so we're improvising. And actually, I think this is going to work fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Velcro the tape player to the angle iron, and I think it's going to do the trick. So the trick with Velcro is you should attach the two pieces together first, right? And then take the adhesive off and then put them on here. Let me take the adhesive off both sides. Okay, and then we'll stick it on here like so. And do the same on the other bracket. Like so. Okay, and then we're going to come in with our tape player and kind of find the right spot here. Let's see. Right about here. And then we'll just kind of come down and push. And that's it. Boy, that thing's in there. And if we ever need to get it out, we can get it out because it's Velcroed. But I'm not going to pull it off yet. I'll let the adhesive just kind of set. But that is in there. Okay, so the cassette player is mounted. I think that looks pretty good, actually. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to clean up these wires. I went and got a bunch of zip strips, and I'm going to do that real quick. So let's clean this up, because it's looking pretty ratty with all these wires everywhere, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and just zip strip all this up and just neaten this up using all the existing little loops and stuff, and let's just kind of neaten this job up. Okay guys, we're all done. How do we do? Look okay? Does it look neat? It looks neater for sure. Now the thing is, I had a Tron harness and it had a lot of extra wiring. The wiring was extra long for Journey, so I had a kind of bunches of wire here that I just kind of had to get creative with. I basically just mounted them there. But I think it looks pretty good, actually. I'm actually quite pleased with it. Now, we're going to clean up the bottom of the cabinet. It's still dirty. Now, I want to mention, too, I did add a ground wire right here, which is actually disconnected right now. But originally, on the audio interface, there was a ground strap that was going right there, and then that probably went down somewhere over here, probably to that screw. So I'm probably going to connect this later. Right now, it's disconnected. I did connect this ground strap. I used a wire. Originally, it was like a 3/8 inch wide metal strip with some plastic coating on it. I don't have that, so I just used a wire, which should be fine. But I did connect this to ground, and no changes. I still have that buzzing sound. But anyway, it's all hooked up. It's all cleaned up. I still need to screw the this in, this right here. And I also have to find a home for the pot. This right here, I think I'm gonna mount it like right here, and there's some screws on the inside. And I think I haven't decided yet. I might drill a hole in this, and then mount this volume pot to that plate, or if I can find some kind of metal plate or angle iron where I can make my own bracket where this can kind of hang out over here, I might do that. But I'll do this later. All I gotta do is just screw this in. It just kind of goes here, and there's 2 screws on the back, and that's where that goes. And then I'll clean up those wires with some zip strips. But it's all working and neat. So I think what we're gonna do now is let's go to the basement and let's make our loop tape, because right now we have that mixtape in. For when I was dating my wife. Did you guys enjoy those songs? Did you like the mixtape? But we need to get the mixtape out of there and go make a real tape, because this was my, when we were dating, this was the thing to do back then in the 90s or maybe even the 80s, I don't know. You give someone you're dating a mixtape. So that's what we were listening to. It's kind of a snapshot of my life there from the 90s. But anyway, okay, so let's go in the basement. And this is a 3-minute endless loop tape, and we need to record Worlds Apart Separate Ways on this, because this is the cassette that we're supposed to have in there, but we need to make it, because this is right now is blank. I got this on eBay, but anyway, let's go in the basement and let's make the endless loop cassette. All right, guys, we're ready to make our endless loop cassette. Now, this is a 3-minute endless cassette, TDK. I got this on eBay. These are actually pretty simple to find, and it's a blank tape. If you look closely, it only has 1 reel. Okay, there's nothing in this one, so the actual tape itself is kind of going around like that. Okay, so there's nothing on that one. So it's an endless loop cassette. And what I did is I went online, and there's a website here that I guess is MAME Samples. You want to do a search for SEPWaves. SEPWAYS.wave, and it'll bring you to samples.mameworld.info. And if you look on this page, you can see here that they have a zip file you can download, and it's got a copy of the version of Separate Ways that was in the game originally. It's a copy of it. I guess someone dumped the cassette. And the version of Separate Ways that is in the game is actually different than like the one that's on the Greatest Hits album or the original album release, because it's been edited down to be exactly 3 minutes, so it'll fit on this cassette. I guess they took like 12 bars of it out or something. So anyway, I downloaded that WAV file, and I've got it in iTunes right now, and we'll kind of play it. So we've got it right there. And so my plan is to send audio basically to my cassette player. Now I have like a Pro Tools setup, but really what I'm gonna do is there's a headphone jack right here on my my MBox Pro, and you could probably do a headphone jack from your laptop or your computer, and I'm gonna run that to the cassette player. I don't have a line out. So I gotta kind of find the right volume. I'm just gonna kind of turn it up 1/3 of the way, and hopefully that'll work. And then I'm gonna go into the aux on the cassette player, which is the aux in, and we're gonna put our endless cassette tape in here, and that's it. So I'm hoping this works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and hit play on this. Actually, I'm going to press play record. Okay, so it's recording right now, and I'm going to press play, and then when it gets to the 3-minute mark, I'm going to press stop. Okay, I'm going to watch the timer in iTunes. Okay, so it should be playing right now through the headphones to this, and you can see the red record lights on. And I'm gonna let it go, and then when it hits 3 minutes, I'm gonna press stop. Okay, and we're done. I basically stopped the recording exactly at 3 minutes, and let's hit play. There we go. So we made our Journey Endless cassette using Separate Ways, World Apart. Or is it World Apart, Separate Ways? I don't know, whatever. And I think it sounds okay. We'll find out when we put it in the game. All right, so now we need to make the label. The label, because originally this had like a cool Midway label on it. And actually, Etienne in the Netherlands, he made a label. He sent me the PDF artwork of it. And we're going to print it out and attach it on here. I want to try to get rid of the old label first without making too much of a mess. But anyway, all right, let me show you guys. So I got it in Illustrator. And he made a vector PDF version of the label, and we're going to print it out. And you can see there it is right there. That's the original label that was on the original cassette that Bally released. And you can see it says Separate Ways, Worlds Apart, Journey, Bally Midway Manufacturing Company, part number, blah, 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 Certon Endless Cassette. Duplication is a violation of law, whatever. I mean, hey, I'm restoring a game. I have a right to this tape. So, all right, so I'm going to print this out. I've got my printer loaded up, and hopefully, I'm just going to print it on photo paper, and then we're going to spray mount it to the cassette. Hopefully that works okay. All right, so I got the preset. I'm going to set it to photo paper. Hopefully this works okay. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I'm printing it. It's sending it to my... Oh, no. What's happening? All right, it's printing. All right, so we're going to let that print, and after it comes out of the printer, we're going to cut it out and then go to the garage and spray mount it. But I'm going to keep taking this old label off first while it's doing that. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, we printed it all out. It actually looks pretty good. So hats off to you, Etienne. You did a pretty damn good job. Now, I'm a little worried, though, because I have to cut out this area in here, and if you look at my cassette, it doesn't really quite line up the way my cassette is molded. This is actually raised in here, so we'll see what happens. So let's go to the garage. I'm going to grab my X-Acto blades, and let's cut this out, and we'll spray mount it onto here. Okay, so basically I'm just going to cut this out using a straight edge and my X-Acto blade here, and hopefully this thing fits fine. And yes, I have an Obama ruler. I bought this for my kids a long time ago. I was trying to be positive. I went to Washington, D.C., and I was in the airport, and I don't know, I grabbed it for them. Okay, so just going to cut this guy out. There's no bleed on here, so we kind of got to go up to the edge and try not to get any white. Okay, so there's that. And I'm just going to kind of freestyle these corners. So that's the label, essentially. But I need to cut out the center part here for the rings, or whatever they're called. And I'm going to have to just kind of eyeball this. This is not going to be that easy. I'll just do the straight parts first. And then I'm going to have to just come in here and just do the rest of it by hand. And try not to butcher it. But this looks pretty good, man. This is going to make my cassette legit. Okay, so we got that part. Okay. Let's see how we did. It looks pretty good for just doing it by hand. I'm just going to come in here and clean it up, get rid of some of the black outline that's looking. All right, let me see how it looks on the cassette, if it fits. Actually, that looks pretty good. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. There's still like a little bit of black showing. Let's see if I can very carefully trim that away. Kind of. Etienne, I recommend that on your artwork file that I should have done this myself even. The black stroke for the cutout is just too heavy. Let's see. That looks pretty good. I mean, come on, no one's gonna even see this. It's gonna be like inside the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some spray melt real quick here, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna use this. This is Super 77 multi-purpose adhesive, and this is a good thing to have around. You can use it to kind of restick side art and stuff. And I'm just gonna kind of spray this. I'm gonna do it, I think, over here though. I don't want to get this on my table. All right, so I'm gonna come in here, and we're just gonna kind of hit it with a little bit of spray. Oh my God, what's happening here? And you kind of got to be reasonably quick here before this dries. That looks pretty good. Look at that. That looks legit, man. I must say, that looks damn good. Etienne, good job with the artwork on that. I don't want to get the glue on it. I gotta be careful here, but that looks legit. All right, so let's put this in our game. I'm gonna let this dry for a minute and go wash my hands because I got the stuff on. I'll be right back. Okay, let's put the cassette player back in. And remember, we had the Velcro here. And just kind of line it up. That industrial Velcro is good stuff. All right, now let's get our power connection and our headphone. And let's put our reproduction cassette in. Damn, that looks sexy. Okay, we are ready now to test this all out. Should we play a game? Actually, I'm gonna put it in test to make sure I got my levels okay. This one's volume, so that's all the way down. That's midway up. Let's put it in test. I'm gonna turn the game on, and let's go to the front here. Just want to make sure our levels are okay, and then we'll play a game because we haven't actually played a game yet with the cassette player. Let this warm up. Ah, it's not in test. Hang on. And the test switch is on. All right, let me get this thing into test. Okay, we have it in test here. Let's go to our cassette mode and let's press up. What? That's not bad. All right, good. Okay, so it's all working. We got the right audio. Let's get out of here. Let's get into the game mode, and let's try it out. Let's actually play a game. Let's play a full game, and let's get to the end, and I want to experience the real song at the end. I've never actually done that. I've only done it in MAME. Of course, we got horrible glare here. Let me shut the garage door. All right, I got the garage door shut. Turn the lights off. Let's coin up. All right, guys, here we go. Hopefully I can just kind of blast through this. So we have to clear all 5 levels. The first level, which is the Neil Schoen level. All right, we cleared that one. So let's do the drum one next. I can't wait to hear that cassette player with the right song, man. I have yet to hear that yet on this cabinet. I've only heard it in MAME. And in MAME, you know, you can't really control the level of the tape player. And it always starts at the beginning. On the arcade one, you know, it just applies power to the cassette player. So it basically leaves off on the tape wherever it was the last time it was played. And so you kind of get a different part of the song every time you get to the end, assuming that you don't last the full 3 minutes of the tape. Okay. You know, it's funny. You guys in the past videos kind of told me this game looks easy and stupid, but I had my party, dude. No one could play this game. They said it was too hard. Like, no one could do this level. So, but it does get easy once you kind of figure out how to play it, but that's only the first time around, because the second time around is way more challenging. Oh, see, and I died. I'm not that great. All right, let's do this again. So we gotta pass 3 more levels to get to the end level that will play the cassette. All right, so this is Ross Valerie, which I guess is I think the bass player. We gotta get his bass and then get to the bottom. Oh my God, come on. All right, we gotta get to the end here. No more screwing around. I don't think I have any more lives left. I need to get serious. All right, we're gonna pass it. All right, so 2 more to go. I think I get a free life at 20,000 points. I'm gonna be a little cautious here. I don't want to die. Steve Perry level where you get his microphone, and then I actually like this level. All right, come on, let's get out of here. All right, we just got a free life, so we got to pass the last level here, and then we can hear the song and make sure everything works. So this is Jonathan Cain. This is kind of like a reverse Donkey Kong level. This is my last chance here. I don't want to start over. Please let me. No. We're gonna do it. Okay, so now the tape player should start playing. Ready? There's the rumble. Oh yeah. What do you guys think, huh? Oh, we've been waiting for this moment forever. It's here. You know, the rumble isn't that bad. I died. That's it, guys. Oh, thank the Lord, it works. Then it should fade out. Oh, we did it, guys. We did it. We got... Oh, I'm so happy. It all works now. Yeah, it's not perfect, but man, it's close. That rumble wasn't that annoying, but I'm gonna still rebuild that thing. I'm gonna replace those caps and the voltage regulators. So, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. We did a lot. We really did, and I'm feeling pretty good with how this video's ending because we've got the cassette player all hooked up. We kind of rewired, we wired up the interface board. It's all neat and looking pretty handsome. I'm not gonna mount the volume control and servo switch yet because we're gonna have to bondo that area there. But I am super stoked. Oh, guys, we've come so far. I mean, to think this started out as a stupid golf JAMA game, and here it is, man. This is Journey. We got it all. And everything's in the right spot, too. So I think we're doing pretty good, man. I mean, considering that we started with a Tron harness, I feel very proud about what's going on here. And, okay, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm so relieved right now. We are past a major freaking hurdle. And in the next video, we're going to do the painting of the cabinet. I mean, I still have a couple loose ends to tie up. I need to put the PCB on the metal plates. And I also want to burn the free play ROM that Matt Osborne did. So we're going to do that. Maybe not in the next video, though. I think the next video, we should start the cabinet. Don't you think? I mean, we got this stuff working. And then I'm going to go ahead and order all new caps for this and probably some new voltage regulators, and we'll rebuild that too. And maybe that'll clean up that hum and just make everything sound good. But you know what? That end sequence with the rumble, it wasn't that bad. I could probably live with it, but I know we can do better. So I'm going to rebuild it. But yeah, that's it, man. I'm so relieved right now. Because, you know what, just looking at this, it looks perfect. This is exactly how I wanted it to look, and it looks that way. And these metal brackets really worked out, by the way. I don't even miss the original bracket. That looks legit. So, all right, guys, that's it for this part of the restoration. Why don't we go back down to the basement and... it's looking good, guys. All right, let's go down to the basement. All right, guys, there you have it. That was part number 11 of the Journey restoration. I hope you guys liked it. I have to tell you, I'm feeling pretty good about where we ended up today. You know, I really am. Where things ended in this video, I'm happy. I am very happy because the cabinet is nice and neat and clean inside. I got everything working. Yeah, the cassette player's got some hum. To me, it's almost getting kind of minor, but I'm going to fix it. I'm going to cap it. We're going to replace that voltage regulator. I'm not going to lose sleep over it because it does work. The gameplay audio is fine. The game, you know, everything inside the cabinet is where it's supposed to be. It looks good. So we're ready to move on, I think, to the cabinet, and we're going to cover that in the next video. In the next video, we're going to start bondoing and painting and all that stuff, and I think that's going to go relatively quick compared to what we've been through so far, because really, a lot of the heavy lifting, the really horrible work in this restoration is now behind us. And I'm really relieved. So next video, let's start on that cabinet. Let's make it look pretty. Anyway, that's going to do it for part number 11. I hope you guys liked it. And by the way, if you've made it to the end of this video and you've never subscribed to my little channel, why not? I mean, come on, you just sat through 2 hours of me working in my garage. You need to subscribe to this channel. I release new videos every Sunday and sometimes in between. So if you want to keep up with videos like this, and also there's game reviews and road trips and all kinds of stuff. It's not just restorations. So go ahead, click subscribe, and then if you do, when I upload a video, you'll get a little alert and you can keep up with all of my videos. And then also, I have two awesome and amazing podcasts. One is called Arcade Outsiders at arcadeoutsiders.com. The other is called Video Game Outsiders at videogameoutsiders.com. I do both of those podcasts live on allgames.com. That's right, allgames.com, Tuesday night, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to listen live, Tuesday, 9 p.m., allgames.com. Press play. You can hear the podcast live. If you can't make it live, don't worry about it because both podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher. Just do a search for Video Game Outsiders or Arcade Outsiders. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I will see you very soon, actually. And I hope you guys liked the video. And you know, if you want to talk about this kind of stuff, this arcade stuff, you guys need to go to the John's Arcade forum, by the way, because it's really happening and it's a lot of fun. Go to johnsarcade.com and click on the forum button on the top, and let's chat. Let's talk about this stuff, because I love these games. And you know what? Go to the forum and let's talk about them. So, all right, guys, that's it. We're done. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Later and bye.